So this is the cutting I took back about 4 or 5 weeks ago now. The roots are well established, it'll just start flourishing. But if you remember, I thought it had a virus, and I don't think it has, because it's got like a little hook here, you see. But it's not happened on the new growth. So it's showing good signs basically. If it just stays on that one leaf, we're alright, thumbs up, or fingers crossed. And this is the hemp. But this is definitely leaning on the sativa, isn't it? Sativa dominance. It's looking like a haze, to be honest. But it's actually smelling like lemons, so you know, you never know. It could be a lemon haze, couldn't it? It'll be made up, but it looks like looks like an autoflower, doesn't it? Like one skinny stick, purely because it was root bound in the pot, and I should have put it in a big pot like that if I'd have known, basically. But don't forget, it started flowering on its own, purely because of, you know, it didn't have substantial light hours, and it kicked off one of its first pistils. So I instantly knew it was a female, so I put it in the shed, and I left it root bound, and that's why it's gone into a skinny stick instead of producing branches, and gets wider as well, you know. You find bigger roots, bigger fruit, so the bigger the pot, the bigger the bud. Simple as that. But it's definitely, it hasn't got its actual distinctive full-on smell yet, but it's leaning towards a citrusy lemon smell. It hasn't got its sticky resin or full-on terpene profile, and every grower will know, you know, first couple of weeks bud all smells the same, very similar, and then it gets its actually distinctive smells and full-on terpene profile. You know, like if it's going to smell like lemons, that smells like lemons in like the 5th, or, you know, if it's indoors, don't forget, if this was indoors in the first 2 weeks, it looked like that. That's been flowering now for about 4 weeks, which took twice as long, you see, because indoors, under intense light, getting its adequate lightage, basically its adequate hours, 18 hours, full on intense, you see, so it grows twice as quick, more vigorous. Flowers quicker, veggies quicker, you know, everything about it. You got the climates under control, you see, but here, you know, everything's slower, but at the end of the day, you know, you just get just as good quality because it's grown by the sun. You know, watch the difference, the smell and everything about it. You get proper, you get the most resin outdoor ever. Indoor, don't forget, that sun produces all different type of rays, X-rays, gamma rays, microwaves, all different type of rays, and it's got beneficial values and produces it, like, it produces more terpenes and like some more of a smell, but most importantly more resin, more natural resin, and it gives you, it has a natural balance in it, and that, I think, as I say, we've genetically modified cannabis to be grown indoors due to the law, basically, which is sadly enough, and then we've, you know, we've made them psychoactive substances more stronger, which have, you know, put a downside on bud. And as I say, if you grow it outdoors, you get them medicinal values back. As I say, no bulb in the planet can mimic the sun, impossible. You know, that sun there produces, like, every square meter is 1,000. There's 1,000 watt bulbs every square meter, so there's 1,000 watt bulb every square meter. You see what I mean? So it's a lot stronger as well, you know. But this is starting to get its first bit of THC, basically. And it hasn't got its full-on distinctive, you know, citrusy or orange smell, because that's what it's going to smell like, orangey diesel, isn't it? But I like the structure of it. I'm liking the structure already, purely because I've had, you know, White Widow was a great structure. It grew massive like that, and it was a sativa dominant. I love sativa dominant hybrid, you see, because you get the best of both worlds. The smells on like Kushes and Indicas, though, they just can't beat them, because what you'll find is on stuff like this, these take longer, so they take longer to flower, but they grow a lot more bigger, as you know, sativas. You know, some take 10, 12, 16 weeks, even 18 in some senses. But like, I had purple Afghan Kush, And that is an amazing, whoever did, oh, it's just an amazing, but now it absolutely stinks, even in vegetative state, absolutely, even in now it stinks. Obviously most cushions do. You'll find with indicas, they've got like a higher terpene profile, a lot more than sativas. And there's a lot more leaf matter, isn't there? If you think about it, a lot more leaf, so they just stink more. But they're like a more, a shorter, stumpier plant. But I love indicas, mate. I have no qualms with them. The way I see it, I'm not bothered what strain it is, as long as it's grown properly to its maximal potential. I couldn't care. Like, there is some strains out there which you think, oh, I prefer not. But most bud, if it's grown properly, it's just a unique taste, isn't it? I love all types of bud. But yeah, that's funny, isn't it? That's from the Aldi. So a Lemon Haze from the Aldi, mixed bag of seeds. That's unusual, isn't it? You can eat it, but you can't grow it. Doesn't make sense. But yeah, the structure of these and this one, I've never grown orange diesel before. I've grown loads of strains like Recon Haze, Bubblicious. That was one of my favourites. The most smell was profound. Purple Afghan Kush, because what I was saying about that is after about 4 or 5 weeks walked in and I didn't really read the comments. I didn't read what it was meant to taste like. I just bought it off Dynafem. And when I walked in after about 4 or 5 weeks, I went, what in earth? That smells like a sweet shop of freshly sliced apples and pineapples. I went, you are joking me. And I smelt it. I had White Widow as well, so I had White Widow from Greeno Seeds and Dynafem. The Dynafem genetics from the Purple Afghan Kush, because they were quite new genetics, you see, so they were strong. I thought, okay, it had tobacco mosaic virus on the White Widow, so I tried to touch it, and nothing happened to the, like Hercules plants, the Purple Afghan Kush, good genetics basically. But out of 5 seeds, what you'll find is this. So I've got 5 White Widow. I think all of them ended up with tobacco mosaic virus, and I thought, okay, it can't have been me. It must have been planted. It must have happened when they've, bred the seeds basically. And if I look at a Jack Header, there's a Jack Header video on Greeno Seeds. I'm not dissing them because I love them to bits. They've taught me how to grow on loads of sensors. But they have a Jack Header, and it's got a hook. And if you look at it dead carefully, on there, even on the video that they're showing, they're advertising, saying, look at this plant, there's even virus on that plant. And I'm thinking, why? I haven't even noticed that. And especially if they're selling it, they probably just thought it was a nutrient deficiency or something. I don't know, but it's just unusual. And I had all my seeds, all the whole White Widow seed, not wiped out. It looked, my plant grew like that. But it had, all the leaves were hooked and started to get that virus. So the White Widow, that was amazing. But the Purple Afghan Kush is, after a couple of weeks, it just smelled like, as I say, well, it's on the comments, it says it's meant to smell like freshly sliced pineapples, and that's why I'm saying out of 5 seeds, you'll get called phenotypes, and you'll get different phenos, different, so this is meant to be orange, 1 out of 5 seeds, some might be leaning more towards the lemon side, you see what I mean, and then some might be leaning more towards the orange side itself. And that's, but on the Purple Afghan Kush, I had 2 which smelled like freshly sliced pineapples, and 3 which smelled like freshly sliced apples. Oh, it was amazing, and it comes out all purple as well. But you can see there's going to be bud all the way up these branches. So for instance, up this one, there's going to be bud all the way up, just like it's going to have like main colas, watch, you see. But these leaves, as I say, so what am I thinking? I've just got, I think what it is, if it was indoors, if it was indoors, I'd just say, look, 6.5 weeks, feed it for 6.5 weeks, maybe 7, it depends on what plant it is, and start flushing it out for the last 3.5 weeks, and let all the nitrogen get out of it. But it's outdoors, so I've just got to go with whatever you know, the plant tells me. But this plant is gonna see these leaves the way they're starting to get faded. You know, like that one for instance. Well, or should I say that? You know, this I'm trying to think what you colour yellow here. But this whole plant's gonna have to be yellow. Maybe as yellow as these fly sticky pads. And if it's as yellow as that and left, so I will, you know, have a look at the THC and see, you know, I don't want them to go, you know, don't want them to be clear or amber, because amber gives you that headlock. When it turns to amber, you'll find it gives you a couch potato where you just don't even want to move. You know what I mean? You get that like milky, you know, that sweet spot. You'll find you can do stuff and you can function at a nice high. You know, that's why Cali weed, it's a nice feeling when you have it, but you know, you have weed that's gone left over, left too much to ripen. You can leave it in different phases to do different things. Basically, you could cut one down while it's clear, so you can play your PlayStation. One, you know, should I say daytime bud, and then the night time. But you'll find when you cut it down to amber, that's when it goes too strong, and you just can't think. You just can't think. You're sitting there thinking, what am I even doing? What am I doing today? Everything's tomorrow. I'll do that tomorrow. Call it the tomorrow drug. You know what I mean? So yeah, as you can see, but this is what I'm saying, as if like, for instance, say they were all vegetating, you could have these grown at different, if you had your head screwed on and was disciplined and had it all organised basically. I've only just moved in, so obviously I can't do it. I've had to make do with what, you know, the time scale I've had. But you could have everything, like vegetating different times, and then flowering different times. You'd have different greenhouses on a plot of land. You could just have about 4 or 5 different crops all the way through, you know, the whole of the summer. But I reckon you'd have to start a lot of them off in like a indoor tent, vegetating, getting them ready. You know what I mean? And then just boom on the ball, straight out there, and you've got about 3 greenhouses to switch them from. You know, some that you can just leave out, some that need to be flowering, some that are in a later stage of flowering. So just, you know, just getting organised, innit? But this, you know, it'll be interesting if that is a lemon haze. And I can't wait to that. It's not got the properly, you know, official orange diesel smell yet, and that'll come in the next couple of weeks. And the THC will start. You know, it hasn't even put weight on. It hasn't even, you know, the internodes haven't even started closing up yet. See what I mean? Like that. Little tiny chicken nuggets. You know, they'll all be full bud on them soon. And that's always not, you know, that's the main bud for me. They're the little peppers as well. And the beneficial values of eating these. Oh, I never used to like peppers. I used to have beef, green pepper, black bean sauce, and just throw all the peppers away. It's pointless. I used to like the flavour, but it's not. I hated the crunch. But now, because I'm obsessed with like, you know, growing, I know the beneficial values. You're missing out big time on mushrooms and plants basically. You know, that's where the world's medicine is. But you can eat these like an apple. You know. I'll show you this as well. Like, this is meant to be a zucchini. It's looking more like well, it's meant to be a summer squash, but it's looking like a squash in it, like bulbous. There's a zucchini here, look. See what I mean? It's a lot different, that, no idea.